Hey everybody, how you doing tonight? Well, didn't have a live last night. Pretty simply because I was bushed. Going to Rhode Island and being around that meet of hers and running around got me bushed out, and I just didn't feel like doing a live last night, so I went to sleep. So forgive me if you were waiting for a live and there wasn't one. But here we are tonight. I wanted to see what's going on. The picture that you see there is a picture of Victoria accepting her first place medal in bars. She got a first place medal in bars competing against Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Northern New England, which includes New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and Maine and Vermont. So she competed in a pretty well-rounded area, and she did very, very well. Not only did she take a first place in gold, but she took a second place overall. So we're very, very happy with that. Um, it's nice to go to these other places than just staying in Maine. Maine has some good competition, but it's nice to get out here to where the competition's a little stricter, a little harder. The judging is stricter. They don't know her, so it's good. So we got some really good feedback, and so that was really nice. Now back to what we normally talk about, the 1A community. My goodness gracious, 1A community. What the hell is going on with the 1A community? More and more, I keep seeing these guys getting arrested. These guys that are, I don't know, I don't know if they're getting. I mean, I saw Amagansett Press and his son. They go all year long. They've gone 2, 3, 4 years and only gotten arrested once, and that was an arrest that should have never happened. All right, but these other guys, God, they're getting friggin'. I mean, are they? Do these guys not know what the hell's going on? You know, maybe I'm seeing something where it isn't there. I don't know, but I just find it odd that Amagansett can go around and not get arrested very often, and one you've got some of these others that are running around not getting arrested, and I don't understand. I don't understand why these other guys are all getting arrested. I mean, there comes a point where you've got to ask yourself, if you go to jail, for one thing, do you have the money to get yourself out, or are you going to ask the community to bail you? Well, if you're going to ask the community to bail you, you better have damn good reason, and somebody better have really stepped on your rights and broken your rights before you ask the community to bail your ass out, because communities bailing people out is that's something that should not be happening on a regular basis, and that's why it's got to be certain situations where I'm going to allow anyone to come on here and use my 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 channel as a place to put up. Hey, crazy Frenchman, how you doing? Put up a PayPal just because and make sure it's a legitimate and it's really going to where they say it's going to go. And I want to make sure that if they get that money back after they, because these people these people pay for these people to get out of jail, and then when these people go to court and they get that money back, I want to know where the hell that money went. When you go to jail, we're paying to get you out of jail. We're not paying your fine. We're not paying your restitution. We're not paying all that shit. You just asked us to get you out of jail. So now once you go to court and you get that money back, I want that money. I want to know where that money's going. So we're gonna be pretty strict here in the future. We're gonna be very strict as to where the money's going, how the money's being raised, where the money's going exactly, to whose PayPal it's going, and so we're gonna jump right down on that. No more free ride on this PayPal, on these get me out of jail routines. And And I hate saying no name, but oh my God, I got a blown motor, and then you never end up you're not even the one that ends up getting the help in the blown motor. So I mean, there's a lot of stuff we need to look at. All right, it's already done and gone and passed. All right, what the hell are we gonna do now? But it's what we do from this point on. It's what we do in the future. That's what makes a difference. Anybody wants to come up on the panel, the link is already posted in the top of the chat. So if anybody wants to come up on the panel and talk about this issue, feel free to. But I just, this money that's been raised and that's gone to these people's, these people's bail. I want to know what's happened to that money when they've gotten done, because that money goes back to them. And if it hasn't gone back to the people who gave it to you, I want to know where it went. And I want to know what happened to it. Who have I helped lately? I've helped a lot of people lately. I help people by allowing them to put their link on my platform, allows them to get subscribers, allows them I allow people to put links on their PayPal. I mean, I'm always giving donations to people. Hell, I'm not going to sit here and tell you how much I gave or who I gave it to, but there are people out there tell you I've given lots of money out. And so yeah, that's who I Teflon on. That's who I gave to. I give to a lot of people. And matter of fact, it was myself and Stephen that gave them some money to V for that, to help them out with getting their LLC, and hopefully they're moving forward with that. And I have firm belief that they are trying to get everything going legit there. So I'm hoping there's nothing going on there that we have to worry about. I don't see any reason why. Hey, James, sorry, what's going on, James? Good to see James in here. If James is in here, that means Heidi's on her way. Because anywhere you see James, you see Heidi. So Heidi, James is a what do you call those guys? I'm sorry, I took a drink off my coffee. Yeah, James is a Teflon Don. He's one of the suave, Rico Suave guys. And he's always out for the ladies. Anybody lady comes in here, old James has got the old dog eyes right on him. James is a good old boy, though. So yeah, back to the question. We've had several people we've helped out to get bail money, and I know they've gone forward and they've gone to court and so forth, but I never hear what happens to that money. You think I would be? Do I think you would be a Rico Suave? James, you are the exact example of a Rico Suave, a guy who hits on all the women. And hey, have at it. If you can get away with it, go for it. Because my wife won't let me. What's up? Battery not fully charged. What the hell? No name and no name. No name and no name, no name. Both the same. Oh, my charges work. You're like freaking Lulu. You're like Lulu. Matter of fact, Lulu, where the hell is Lulu now? I don't see Lulu around anywhere much anymore. Every now and then, I think she's a moderator. I'm not sure now. Don't quote me on this. I think she's a moderator over at Long Island Artists. I think she spends a lot of time over there. I could be wrong, but I see that I've heard there's a Lulu over there, and I think that's her. If not Lulu, I apologize. Correct me if I'm wrong, which I could be, but because I was mistaken once. So yeah, No Name and I have been looking into a few things, and we're going to have some panels. We're going to be doing some panels over on his doing some lives over on his channel sometime. Uh, but Groa, Brian, good to see you. Thanks. You see you. Hey, no problem. I was just saying because somebody was asking what I've done lately, and I was just saying that's one of the ones that I've done because that was pretty out in the open. But I've given quite a lot to quite a different people, quite a lot of different people. But I'm not. That's what I'm saying. James is one of these Rico Suave guys. He's not with one, but he's with a lot. I used to be that way. I used to be able to get away with that too. But my wife won't let me get away with it no more. She tells me I got the best. Why do I want to look at any others? And I guess I got to agree with her. Any of you know my wife knows what I'm talking about. But hey, Bud. So what's going on with Viva Vets, Bud? Don't you come up here, Bud, and let us know what's going on with Viva Vets. I'd like to hear what's new and stuff. Steven Musel, how you doing, Steven? Late, but here. Hey, I'd rather have you late than never, buddy. Now, Steven made a little girl awful happy today. He sent over I can't remember what those things are called, but one of those big tots that KY was sending over. Sent over one of those to my daughter because she did so well in her gymnastics meet this weekend. And I appreciate that. And I think Victoria already sent you a message here before she went to gymnastics. For those of you who don't know, the reason I'm sitting here at Panera is I give my daughter a ride to gymnastics class 3 days a week, and I have to sit here for 3 hours, almost 4 hours, and just wait for her to get out of class. So I sit here and reminisce for 3 or 4 hours. So I said, what the hell? Why not do a piano when I'm here? Used to be from the parking lot, but geez, it's getting cold now. I don't want to keep running that truck. So I do it from the live from Panera. It's NNE live. I like that. So I'm just up here being a one-man band today. I should have a harmonica. I'll do a little harmonica. I don't know how to play harmonica, but I can blow one probably. Make some noise in it. You guys some noise at least. But I think I'm going to put the plow on tomorrow. Plow on my truck tomorrow. We're starting to get a little freezing stuff coming down from the clouds. So I don't want to be out there in the middle of a snowstorm putting that damn plow on. So I think I'm going to be putting the plow on tomorrow. So that's my job for tomorrow if it doesn't snow too much. James' family's doing good. The wife says I'm better than nothing, so I guess that means I'm still safe there. My daughter says I tend to get her to places where she needs to go, so that's fine with her. So it's nice to know that I'm at least useful. Most of the time I'm pretty useless, so it's nice to be once in a while useful. So Steven knows what I mean. Yeah. He's the same as I. Yeah, he's very useful because he's able to do stuff, but he doesn't have the physical means to do the stuff. So him and I both know what that's all about. He's got a bad back and bad neck, and I got the same thing. He's got you can't breathe on the same. So, but Steve, what I was talking about before you got in here was this money that keeps going to these auditors that are going for their bail and stuff. These guys that are getting money for bail, and then they end up going to court, and then they get that bail money back, and we never hear where that bail money went. And we never hear anything about it. So I want to know what's happening with that money, because if they're getting that money back, we need to know where it went. Because if they got the money back, and I don't, that's not what it wasn't meant to pay fines. It wasn't meant to pay their grocery bill. It was meant to get them out of jail. So it should have either been sent back to the donor, or the people should have been asked what he could do with it. So I think we need to start asking that question on some of these people. So don't be surprised if you see me, if I see somebody in my chat asking, yeah, well, that's what I'm hoping it doesn't do that, Stephen. I would like to think that these guys are honest enough that they're sending it back, that they're refunding it. And that's why I want, from now on, I'm not going to allow anyone to put a PayPal up to go into their PayPal. If somebody's going to jail and they need PayPal money, I want it to go to their own PayPal so we can track it by going by them. I don't want it, like for instance, let's use AFA. Let's use AFA for example. AFA a lot of times would help people get out of jail, and that money would go into his PayPal, and he would send it to them. Well, then if there was ever a question, then he'd have to explain what the hell happened. I don't want that shit going on. So from now on, if somebody's going to jail and they need money, they better have somebody that's able to access their PayPal, because I'm not going to allow any money to be going into somebody else's pocket. So if they want to get out of jail, I'm going to allow their PayPal and their PayPal only. So that's my new rule. If somebody's going to jail and they need bail money, the individual that's going to jail gets, they put their PayPal money up. They pay up their PayPal link, and they better have somebody having access to that account, because I'm not going to have situations where people are skimming money off. We're gonna tighten up this PayPal stuff. We're gonna tighten up this money. It's starting to get a little ridiculous. And if I have to be the first one to do it, and I have to set the example, God damn it, will set the example. Hoosier. Donate to Hoosier News Now. PayPal. Donate to Ria Fund. Fuck Hoosier. Hoosier don't need any money. He's rich. Look at that. I ought to delete the son of a bitch if he's going to come here and put his link up and not even come up on panel. Stephen, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, you do. You do. He is one of these people who is one of the members, and the membership money goes to Victoria, goes to her stuff. So you do donate to her. What is it? $2, $3, $4, $5? I don't remember what it is. So Hoosier, what do you think about what I've been talking about PayPal money? What happens to that PayPal money? A lot of people, we put these links out and raise all kinds of money for them. And the next thing you know, what happens to that money when they go to court and they get that money back? Now, a lot of times that goes toward their fine. Now, I want to know, if these people are raising money, and they're not letting people know that that's going toward their fine, then I think there needs to be an explanation to that. What's good? Not a hell of a lot. It's yes, I did. Yes, not much for Exile one. Just raising the ruckus. But yeah, I've made donations myself to people getting out of jail and need money to get out of jail, and so that kind of what made me start thinking about it. Was somebody got to jail the other day and they were raising money to get him out? I kind of came to me as to, well, and we've talked about this before. Epic, what's going on, Epic? What's up? What's going on?
Hey, what's going on? Good evening. Good evening, everybody.
Well, you can tell
Where the
I'm
hell
right
are
here.
you?
I'm here at Panera. I'm at Panera, live from Panera.
Why are you at Panera?
I'm at because I'm here waiting for Victoria for the next 4 hours. So what do you want me to do? Go sit?
She's hanging out at Panera for 4 hours?
No, she's at gymnastics. So I'm
Well,
over
go
here
over
at Panera.
there.
What do you want me to do over there? Just sit there and freaking twiddle my thumbs?
What do you think you're doing here?
I'm over here causing hate and discontent. I mean, running alive.
Yeah, but you're not. Whatever.
I can have free coffee here. See, if I sit here, I can have free coffee. Have all the coffee I want.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So yeah, so I come over here and I sit up here and I get my free coffee and I can sit here and I can drink coffee all day and I can have two-fisted coffee. See that? Look at that. Depends which one I want to drink. So
Yeah, but people are staring at you looking stupid.
I don't
I know
care.
it probably doesn't bother you because you look stupid anyway, but
that, since when has it bothered me looking stupid?
Never that I know.
They do look at me oddly when they sit down. All of a sudden, they start to realize I'm running a live show right from behind them. But hey, that's welcome to the 2020. What the fuck is it? 21? Is it still 21?
I mean, in all honesty, it wouldn't even, phase. Well, it wouldn't even dawn on me that you're doing a live show. I mean, you look like you're mentally ill anyway. So you're sitting there talking to yourself.
Well, that's what it is. I just sit here and because I'm trying not to bug the people beside me too much, so I don't my voice too loud, and they kind of look at me, and I'm sitting here with my head down trying to talk low, and they see me like this. I'm here talking like this, and is that do these glasses make me look fat?
Ask your wife.
She said yes. I'm fat no matter what. That's just her, She's hard that way.
That's why I said ask your wife.
Oh my fucking word! I gotta tell you a story. Are you ready for this?
What?
You text her and you ask her about this.
Uh-oh.
So she found out the other day she's got a fucking chipmunk in her car because she had a bag of a little small bag of nuts in her car because she likes cashews, and that little bastard came and took all of them. Well, she's finally determined that it's a chipmunk because she's tried to trap it. She's got one of those big ass traps in there, and she's tried cheese, couldn't get anything. She put freaking nuts in it last night, and they took the nuts, but they didn't hit the trap. So today she told me, she says, I'm putting that trap back in the car, and I didn't think nothing of it, So I'm going down the road. I'm giving my daughter a ride to work today, and I reach in the back seat and I reach underneath the seat, and all of a sudden, that fucking snap, and that son of a bitch bit me. And I pull my fingers out, and I'm saying to Victoria, please take it off.
It's like
And
a
she
rat
couldn't
trap or
take
a
it
mouse
off because
trap?
she was a fucking rat trap. Because she figured it might be a squirrel, so she's been a rat trap. And Victoria couldn't do it because she was laughing her ass off. And here I am. Huh?
Probably just a mouse.
And so there I am. No, it's a rat trap. She's got those black traps that's got the fucking teeth on it.
Yeah.
That when it closes, it's big ass spring and it'll kill a big rat. Well, that's what she's got in there because she's afraid, maybe it's a squirrel rather than a chipmunk. So she's got something in there that'll kill, and that son of a bitch snapped down on me. Victoria couldn't take it because I'm driving with one hand. Victoria couldn't take it off because all she was doing rolling in her seat laughing because she just was starting to tell me, Dad, don't reach under the seat. but I did. And so she's laughing her ass off. And so I finally was able to drive with my knee and reach over and take that son of a bitch off. And so I called up the wife and I told the wife, I said, guess what just happened? She goes, I know what just happened. Your daughter already texted me and told me. And then she started laughing. So then the both of them were fucking laughing. And I'll
Well,
tell you what,
maybe you should
that's
tell her to
about
stop leaving food in her car, and then it wouldn't happen.
well, that's what I told her. I said, stop putting the friggin' nuts out there for the squirrels, and the squirrels won't. And she's always cleaning her car out, so she's leaving the door open. She'll run into the house, come back out. So you know that little squirrel probably smelt nuts in that car, and the
Or
door was
something,
open
yeah.
and freaking jumped into the goddamn thing. And so yeah, so I'm pissed. Freaking damn near chopped my fingers off, for Christ's sakes.
Well, she hasn't seen it.
No, the only thing is chewed through one bag of nuts that weren't opened, and then and one bag of nuts that was opened that it got in and took all of those nuts. So and she put cheese out. And they won't go after the cheese, but they'll go after the nuts. And so I'm not going to reset that son of a bitch just in case I reach back there again. And I ain't reaching in the back see that goddamn car again, I'll tell you.
Well, huh?
But she won't even say sorry. She wouldn't even say, "Oh, hon, I'm sorry." No, she's just fucking laughing. That's it, just laughing.
Because it's funny.
Well, it may be funny to people who didn't get their finger damn near chopped
Well,
off.
sure.
Well, I damn near got my freaking business, my finger chopped off.
Oh, probably didn't close that far on your fingers.
It's a big freaking black. Google it. It's a big black rat trap.
I know what they look like.
Yeah, and it's got fucking teeth on it.
Yeah.
And I even got a place on one of my fingers where it drew blood. That's how bad it was. I'll show you. You wait a minute. See, right there. Wait.
Just wait till you freaking stick
Yeah,
your
look.
pecker in
That's where it got
somewhere.
me. You got that, them two fingers right there. They're swollen up. I swear to God, they're swollen up.
Huh.
So do me a favor. You text her and tell her that she should be friggin' feeling bad about it, not laughing about it. Because when I get home, I hope the hell she ain't still laughing about it.
I'll text her and tell her to keep laughing.
Well, it ain't very funny. Because I could have gone off the road, for Christ's sake. When that thing clunked down on me, I could have smacked into somebody. I could have gone off the road. I could have killed
Well, that's what you get for snooping around her car.
I was just reaching underneath the seat for something.
Okay, and you got caught. Literally.
I don't know, but I'm not going to reset that bastard. She's going to have to go back out tonight and reset it herself. She said she went out the other night and set it, and she put cheese in nuts on it. And she said that the cheese was still there, but the nuts was gone.
She needs to put peanut butter or something on it so it sticks.
That's a good idea, actually, because that's still a nut.
Yeah.
And he probably would.
Yeah. If it's a squirrel or a mouse or a chipmunk, they'll still eat the peanut butter.
Don't tell her that. I want to be the one that starts.
I'm texting her right now.
No, I'm going to text it for you do.
Too late. I already did it. Too late. I did it.
Prick. You prick.
No, I didn't. I didn't do it.
I'll tell her later. You know what I'll do? I'll tell her, okay, I'm going to go reset it. And I'll take some peanut butter out there and I'll put peanut butter on it and I won't say nothing. And I'll catch that goddamn thing tonight and I'll be the hero. I'm the because I am the hero of the house.
Whatever.
She calls me the hero often.
You're the drain on the house.
No, I'm the hero. It's either hero or zero. It's hard to tell with these freaking Filipinos.
More
Their
is
accent.
zero than hero.
Yeah, zero or hero. I can't tell exactly which one, but it's one of them two.
Well, to get back to
So,
your topic about the donations, that's why I came
yep.
up to the chat.
Yeah. So
Um,
what do you think?
well, I mean, there's there's different aspects on it. People know when they donate something, it's going to the person, right? Whatever it's for. If it's for bail, if it's for donations just to help out, if it's going, you know, whatever. I mean, they're aware of it. If they just want it specifically for bail and they say, okay, well, I'd like to have this back, they should put a message in there saying that. Um, Most people don't do that because they understand that once you are arrested, you are going to have legal fees, you are going to have fines, you are going to have, you know, things that they want to be able to help out with. Um, the and that's for the people that really need it and stuff, right? It's not,
Yeah, but a lot of these people they end up going to jail, and then the next day or the day after, the prosecutor doesn't prosecute, and so they get kicked. And
sure,
well, if that's the situation, then where's that bill going then? That bill's sitting in their pocket because they get it back as soon as they get kicked. They get that bail money back. I mean, when I say get kicked, they don't press the charges, so the charges don't go anywhere.
yeah.
So you know, but
Well, I
my complaint is that we're telling everybody when we're raising this money that it's going to get this guy out of jail. All right. And nobody wants to leave a guy in jail. So everybody, people tend to give money, give money, give money. But I think
yeah,
what we need to make sure that people understand is that they're not going to get that money back. If people need to understand that they're not going to get it back. Well, if they want to get it back, then they need to put a notification on it that they want it back. Um,
sure. Yeah,
and
and
if
I think that, I mean, this is, in all honesty, this is a business, right? It's um for us, it's kind of a business, right? We're, a lot of the guys don't have full-time jobs. Some of us do. Um, and it, this is what we focus on, right? Um, and like I said, most of the time, if people want it back, they should put a message in there. And I would, I agree with that. Um, the problem is that there's so many of them out there that do nothing but push for donations, and they ruin it for the entire community, right? It's just like, they say, all bad cops are bad cops, but that is just putting bad cops with the bad, or good cops with bad cops, right? And it's the same thing in our community with the auditors or the cop watchers or activists or whatever you want your title or whatever to be, right? Um, and it's difficult because you have the guys that that do nothing but push that and say, well, you don't support me if you don't donate or you don't become a member, um, and all that kind of stuff. Now, I'm going to start doing more lives and stuff. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be going out probably in the next couple hours, but top watching and stuff. But, I'll say, hey, there are memberships available now on my channel. It's just, or, if you want us to help support the channel and keep me on the road or, whatever that other people say as well. My PayPal, but I don't push it, right? I say it maybe at the beginning, and then if I have mods and stuff that put it in the the chat, that's one thing. But I think people, they want to help because they can't get out and do the stuff that we're doing, or they don't feel comfortable doing that. So they want to help, right? Um, But when it comes to the bail money, I mean, you're right. If it's just for the bail, um, you know, unless there's kind of an agreement or unless there's something, it goes into the pockets. It goes into our pockets, right? Um, and like I said at the beginning, people understand that donation, unless they're putting up by two, three, four, $1,000 for somebody, they're probably not going to expect it back. If they're just putting 5, 10, 15, maybe even $50, right? They're not going to expect that back. Um, and I think when people donate, they understand that, right? I mean, I could be wrong, but in my opinion, people should understand that. Are you still here?
Yeah, it was loud around here, so I
Okay.
just muted. Yeah, and you're right. The $10, $15 people, it's not a big deal. All right. But
No, no,
we do have a lot of people who give 50 to 100, $200,
sure,
and their money is hard earned. It's
sure.
not, it's not, it's not somebody like, I hate to use your name, Steven. It's not somebody like Steven Musel who can throw a couple $100 and it's not a big deal.
Yeah,
You
yeah, I
know,
get it.
most of us are $200 to me is hard earned $200.
Yeah, I
Um,
totally get that.
yeah, and so I think that what we need to do is make sure that if we're raising it for bail money, that everybody understands. Look, this is bail money. Um, if you want this bail money back, you need to make a notation in your PayPal.
I
All
agree.
right,
I think
and
that too.
and I don't want to be doing any more of this. Okay, you are going to raise money now to get Josh Abrams out of jail. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to let people do that anymore. If you're in jail and you need money, PayPal's got to go to you. There's got to be somebody that you can have access to your PayPal. If you don't trust the people, so if there's nobody that's close to you that you can trust your PayPal, then that's sorry, pal, but you know what I mean. I mean, we can't because too many times we're having situations where someone will say, "Well, I never got that money."
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say names, but we've got a couple of people you and I know very well that they've claimed that they didn't get money or money went back or it got,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
and I don't want to have that happening anymore. And I don't want to be part of that because in the past, they've raised money through me, through my platform, and then there's been a problem with it. And I don't want it, I don't have that situation anymore. I want to try to tighten up on where the money comes from, where it goes to, and that sort of stuff. Which I think in doing that, people then can know when they do donate that it's secure, it's safe, that we're not, they don't have to worry quite so much about somebody skimming some of it.
Sure. Well, and in all honesty, I can't say most. I'd say, yeah, I'd say most of us um, don't skim off the top, or if whoever we use, they don't skim off the top or something like that. And I even went through it, right? I mean, you kind of know the deal between what happened with me and and a couple other people and stuff like that, right? Where they say, they have donated and it either never showed up or I never got it or whatever, right?
Yep,
Um,
exactly.
so it, and that's why we put up our own PayPal links, right? And I think that's where it should go instead of going to others, unless they are very well connected with each other, like and they're actively working on it. Like if, for example, like if I after
if
I go to
if
jail,
you
right?
were in jail and people said, hey, I want to send the money to me. You and I are close enough. Most people know that I'm going to be, I know you well enough. I can get the money to you. All right.
Yeah, yeah,
But if it's people that don't work together, you know,
sure,
or people that work together very seldom, you know, Josh Abrams has always been one to step up. I'm not blowing Josh's horn, But Josh has always been one to step up when somebody's in jail and put his PayPal out there and raise money. And the reason he does that is because Josh has a lot of people.
Yeah, he's
Uh,
got a big channel. Yeah,
he's got a big fan base, and so for him, they'll donate to him 10 times quicker than they will you or I. So
sure.
I understand what he puts his own up, but when and then he'll give the money to them. But what I don't want to do is I don't want to run it through me. He can run that through his channel. He's got a big enough channel. He can do that. Don't need to
Oh yeah.
worry. But it's the little guy, like I'm not gonna say any names, but some people we know that you question as to whether or not anything ever got there. I just, we're before we had a lot of people that were getting bad raps, and a whole bunch of shit was being said about the PayPal, and so I just think it's time to clean it up, um, and
Well,
to
and
be
it's not.
more.
And I know there has been issues with large amounts being sent and it not being appropriated or being used correctly or something like that. But it's more so the issue is more so of the guys that are out there making $8,000 a month, right, in YouTube
Yeah,
revenue, and they're still pushing that PayPal nonstop. I mean, the few that do that, right?
yeah,
Um, and that's where the problem lies. People are getting tired of the PayPal thing because of the ones that whine and cry and carry on, um, because they're not making any money or that kind of thing. This money in this community is a perk, right? Making an income off of YouTube, doing what we do, is a perk. Okay, um, it's not, in my opinion, it is not the sole goal to do. Right? It's not. It's not what the cause is about. And I've said this. I've said this many times. Um, the cause is to affect change in law enforcement and government accountability. Right?
exactly.
Um, and it is good that we can make money through the ad revenue and stuff. And I'm not saying don't donate to me or donate to the people that you respect and you follow and you want to help keep doing what we're doing, right? um, the problem lies is the pushing and pushing and pushing of it, when literally the ones that are doing that, you look at their view count and they have 20, 30, 40, 50,000 views in the last 10 videos, right?
Yeah.
um
So
and
they've gotten
that's
six or
per
eight grand.
video. Yeah, I mean it's per video, right? And when you have 20 or $30,000 or 30,000 views, right, and you're making you know uh $10 per thousand views, you calculate that out, right? And if you look at it per month and you say, okay, well, this person's making you know five, six, eight, $10,000 a month or more, even depending, because that whole per thousand views fluctuates. It goes up and goes down depending on your view count and stuff like that. If you have a high view count, then it goes up, and if you've got a lower view count, then it goes down. But um, you look at that and you can calculate out, how much these guys are making. And if they get arrested and they're making 6 grand a month, they literally should be able to post their own bail. Um,
Right, exactly.
you know, um, there's guys like Chuck Bronson that he's out every night. He's hitting it hard. He's using a shit ton of gas. And he gets the donations because people want to help him do it, right? He doesn't normally get arrested. I don't know whether he has been or not. But those are people that are donating to him, and he makes a pretty good income too. But those are just people that want to help him with gas and help him stay and do the stuff that he's doing. When you do get arrested, and there's I don't even know how many channels there are anymore. I pretty much lost count. There's like freaking a couple of hundred now, right? That are just trying to get in on this community, and they have maybe less than 1,000 subs, or maybe 1,000 subs, or 1,500 subs, or 2,000 subs, and they're not making the income. And they go out and they do it, and they get arrested, right? And they expect, and this is the thing, they expect the community to back them. You know, and there are a couple of channels, as you know, that are big, and they do the same thing. They expect their following, and they expect their subscribers in the community to step up and say, okay, well, I'm going to help this guy out. Well, I'm not going to help you out when I know you make, $6, $7, $8, $10,000 a month, right? Yeah, you're paying taxes, fine, but if you're spending $6, $8, $10,000 a month, unless you're traveling every single day, unless you are, doing something other than just doing cop watches, or local stuff, or whatever. Fine, but if you're going to travel around the country and do the stuff, you should be responsible for that, right? You shouldn't, have people saying, okay, well, you just spent, $5,000 on a trip, right? And now you just went home and you got arrested, or you got arrested on that trip. People aren't going to donate home because they know you make, or you got arrested on that trip. It's kind of it's weird, and it's confusing, and it's frustrating, but you just kind of got to look at it that in all reality, it is a business, okay? And the businesses are supposed to make money, and it's a gray area, gray line that you got to just kind of tiptoe alongside, right? With the luckily, for me, I have guys in NNE that will get on the live streams if something happens to me, or if something happens to them. We're all in a text chat, and we're trying to push the other guy's videos so that they can make a little extra income, or we're trying to raise money for them, or something along those lines. Somebody will go live and say, okay, well, this guy's been arrested. Hey, let's see if we can help him out and get out. And I do agree with that. But again, at the end, if people donate a few $100s and they can't, and that's something that they really can't do a lot, they should put some sort of notation in that saying, hey, this is to get you out. When you get out, I'd like it back. And it's that simple. It really is.
Now, you guys, everybody knows Long Island Audits. He's one of my favorite auditors, right? Now, one of his last audits that he did, the biggest walk of shame. Hopefully, you've watched it. If you haven't, go over to Long Island Audits. Like, share, and subscribe over there, and watch the biggest walk of shame. And it's probably one of the best audits that I've seen, as far as the cops realize they fucked up and have to turn around and do the walk of shame. You've got to go see it. All right. Now you look at this one. This is a good one. 330,283. All right. Now, so you figure approximately that's a $3,000 video.
Oh, easily
a $3,000 video.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not showing that to say, hey, don't donate to these people. If you want to donate to these people, fucking donate to these people.
Sure.
But I want you guys to understand, some of these guys are making good money.
Many of them are. And that's the thing, that the true guys in this, right, that are making the money, they don't push all that stuff. Yes, it's on their channel, just like it's on mine. And you know, a lot of times when they go live and say, okay, well, this guy's been arrested, they're not really so much asking for money, right? They're asking people to, whether it's don't call and express your grievances to the department, to the city hall, to whatever, right? And a lot of times it's not to raise money for their bail, especially the more successful guys, right? You see it more so on the guys that go out and do it, and they only have 1,000 subs or less than 5,000, let's say.
Right.
And their channels are stagnant. They're not growing very much, but they're going out and they're taking a risk. They haven't, maybe they haven't been around long enough, or they've been around too long, or long enough that people don't like them, so they're not going to support them, right? And they're all about the money, in my opinion. It's hard because I'm not trying to offend anyone, right? I'm just saying Steven's right. I mean, if people are going to go out and do this, they should have the ability to
Their own bail fund.
pay their own bail fund, especially if they're a successful channel. You know, and but again, on the other side, people still want to help. Okay, once they find out, and like I said, if you want the money back, you should inform the person that you're sending it to that you want that money back. If not, it's fair game, in my honest opinion. A lot of guys, may send it back once it's all said and done, and they are, they don't have any charges, or they go to court and it's dismissed, or whatever, right? In But if someone is not informed that someone wants their money back, right? It's basically income, and now the way the government's pushing things and getting into people's bank accounts and all that stuff, now all those donation platforms like PayPal and Venmo and Cash App they're looking into being taxed, right? So, which I don't agree with, because it's an outside source, and there's no tax information really, and all that kind of stuff, right? But the government's trying to push and push and push to keep people from making extra money on top without being able to take their share. Which is one big thing why there are donations and why there are GoFundMe's and PayPal's and Venmo's and Cash Apps. People, you see it on all the platforms, whether it be YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. People have their Cash Apps, Venmo, and PayPal's up there. So I guess the bottom line is, it's pretty much a fair game in most of our minds that if you don't ask for it to be returned, then it's not going to be returned. To get on the issue of posting someone's PayPal, or trying to help them out raising the money, you just got to go. You got to take case by case. You know what I mean? If you know that they're making a certain amount of money per month, they should be able to put back $1,000 per month for bail fund, right? And people are going to feel bad, or and still donate, but like I said, there's different amounts. My thing is anything under $50, unless it's said that I need it back, you shouldn't really so much worry about, right? And if someone gives 200, 300, 400, $500 and they don't ask it back, I've sent out emails for something like that, right? Over $100, and you make them make the call. You have their direct contact email. You can, email them through PayPal or the Cash App, I think, as well. You can, send them a message, and say, hey, would you like this back? Or is this, a donation to, to keep me going, or, for a fine or something along those lines, right?
Yeah,
People
and I
don't,
mean, I think that's what they need to be right up front about it. I don't think
sure,
that people should be asking, back later on after they get the money back. I think that people need to be upfront about it when they in the beginning. If I give you $200, this is what I expect.
sure,
If I give you $10, I don't give a shit what you do with it. But if I give
exactly,
you $200, this is what I expect. And I
exactly.
think that we have to be responsible, fans. I mean, I guess we have fans or whatever the hell we have, subscribers. We have to be responsible. That we know that when we give money, that it's most of the time you're not going to get it back unless you say something about it. But it bothers me that there's been so many different times where there's been question about what money went where that I myself I just want to do something to try to make people feel more. There are people who are not able to do anything because of their attacked. YouTube, yep, I'll put this up so people can read it.
I'll be right back, Ryan.
Yep. But again, like I was saying, people just make a notation on when you send the money out and so forth, and that way you'll know that like Steven says, I send money out, I don't want it back. Well, that's great. Like, send money out, we don't want it back. That and probably in most cases that's the case because most of us don't send our whole savings out to some guy. We send what we figure we've got spare in our pocket. That's what I do anyway. If I haven't got it spare in my pocket, then I don't have it spare in my budget. The way I look at it. But one of the uh, one of the issues that, like Huger was saying, these big channels, they really need to be worrying about that stuff themselves. Um, these guys are making sometimes from 2, 3, 5,000, 10,000, 15,000, some of them $20,000 a month. Some of these guys, their channels are, I mean, their lives or something. If it's a really good content, some of these are going to 500,000 or 1 million. And what we're talking about here is just the pay per view. We're just talking about what they get for pays, for the views. That's not even including their AdSense. And there's a hell of a lot more money in AdSense. There's no money in the view. The click and view, there's money in there if you're getting tens of thousands of views. So you're getting tens of thousands of views, you can make some money. But it's the AdSense that guys are getting a few $100s here, a few $100 here. If I make $200 or $300 in a month, it's because of AdSense. It sure as the hell isn't click and view, or it's because somebody threw some money into my paper, into my super chat or something. But I tell people, please don't send super chat. Send it to the PayPal. The super chat takes too much freaking money, too much money out of it. It's ridiculous. They take 40%. So if you're giving money to PayPal to your favorite 1A or auditor or whatever, and you're doing it through super chat, you're losing a lot of your money. You're better off to send them a $1 super chat to tell them that you just sent them whatever in their PayPal. The reason a lot of people do the super chat is just so that people can see their message. Well, if you got something you really want to say, send $1. You don't have to send big dollar and have it taken away from you. But well, it looks like it's a slow night. We don't have very many people wanting to jump up on the panel here, so we just hit the 1 hour mark. So I think that as soon as Hoosier gets back up here, we're going to say goodnight and call it an early night. But hopefully, this is giving people something to think about. And again, if you're just getting in here, the picture that you see on my live tonight, that's the picture of my daughter getting her first place trophy. That's her first place trophy, accepting her first place trophy for bars, and she got a second place trophy in over all around. So she did really well in the all around. Good night, Stephen. I think Stephen goes to bed early, so I figured he was probably getting close to that time for Stephen. But maybe we'll just say good night, and Hoosier can come back and find us missing. All right, everybody. So thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming into the chat. I appreciate. We've had pretty much 20 people here most of the evening, so I appreciate those people spending here. And take care, all. Love you all. Take care and good night, Brian